Hey guys, how's it going today? I'm talking to you about the next training cycle. So I'm excited for this. This is something that myself and the coaches have put together. You just finished your test week, so you just finished developing a good baseline for your current strength. So we'll use those percentages as we go forward over the next 12 to 16 week cycle. A couple of things that you'll see in the next cycle that are important to know about. You're going to see an increase in volume. So not just the volume of individual pieces of your training, but just the total volume is going to be increased over what you've been doing recently. So there's lots of benefits to that, and there's lots of reasons we're doing it. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It also means that your training sessions are probably going to feel harder. It doesn't mean that they're harder per se. The strength training and strength training as a primary component of your system up to this point, or at least over the last 16-week cycle, there's a reason for that. Now, as we switch into a different cycle, there's a reason for that as well. So I know you trust us, you trust the coaches. That's why it says show up, work hard, get results. But I like for you to know more about why we're programming things the way that we're programming. In addition to seeing more volume, the other piece that's going to be important, and the coaches will remind you this when you come in, but you're going to see an increased emphasis on tempo. By tempo, that means we're going to dictate how fast or slow you should be moving the weight, whether it be on the concentric movement, on the eccentric movement, on the holds. So I'm going to walk you through what that will look like on your Wattify system. So when you see a lift, if we take a squat, for example, you'll see tempo, you'll see 4 numbers. The first number is the pace in seconds at which you lower the weight. So if I'm doing a squat, it's lowering the weight. If I'm doing a bench press, it's lowering the weight, and so on. So in this case, in this example, with the 4, it's going to take 4 seconds on the way down. So you can imagine the increased time under tension is going to be greatly increased over the course of your set. So if I'm doing a squat or a back squat, 4 seconds is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So think about that going down. Obviously the amount of weight that you're going to use is probably going to be less, and it's going to be a lot more difficult. The second number is how long you're going to pause at that point. So 1 second means there's going to be a 1 second pause. So there'll be 4 seconds down, a 1 second pause at the bottom, and then the next number is going to be the speed at which you go up. So with an X, or sometimes you'll see a 0, it means explosive. So there's really no break. So in this example, it's 4 seconds down, 1 second pause at the bottom, explode up, and then the fourth number is going to be the pause at the top. So simply that's just the rest in between every single rep. So if you could imagine this, 4 seconds down, 1 second at the bottom, explode up, 1 second at the top, 4 seconds down, 1 second at the bottom, explode up, and so on and so forth. And you can use this through lots of different tempos. You might see 4-1, X1. You might see 2-2, X1, which means it's lowering down at 2. And then there's a 2 second pause. Maybe we're doing a pause squat. So you're going to see longer time at the end of the first motion. And then we're going to explode up. And then it's going to be 1 second, which simply just means pretty much a normal turnaround. In some instances, you may see a little bit higher number here where there may be a hold. Let's say you're doing a bench press and you see 2 seconds at the top. You might get 2 seconds down, 1 second at the bottom, explode up, and then a 2 second hold. The point is the tempo is going to be a primary part of what you see over these next 16 weeks. So just make sure that you're paying attention to that. And it's not just a matter of getting your weight and then cranking out your reps. Follow the tempo that we have prescribed for you. There's a method behind the madness, if you will. And I think at the end of these 16 weeks, you're going to be very, very happy with your results.